Hi guys, it's Percy once again for another amazing and stupendous and awe-inspiring Percy's fast food toy story. Now today's fast food toy story is the Roger Hargreaves toy, which were given out this November 2017 at every McDonald's store here in the Philippines. And our toy for today will be Mr. Clever. Ta-da! Mr. Clever. A very, very fine and dandy character from the roster of characters of Roger Hargreaves. Very, very clever indeed. What with his spectacles, I mean his glasses out here. I don't know, for some reason when we see students, for example, in our school who are bespectacled, has their glasses on, you would almost instantaneously categorize them as being very clever, because more often than not they really are very clever. Sometimes they could use glasses as early as being high school or in the elementary because of the immense reading that they've been doing. Okay, are you reading a lot?
Yes.
What?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Lakas.
Yes.
Okay, so this kid is also kind of fond of reading also. You know, it's very nice to actually encourage kids to read lots of books. Like for example, just recently I bought this Mr. Man Saves Christmas book. So probably one of these days Jake, even on his own, can actually read this. Okay. This is a very, very interesting story on how the Mr. Man saved Christmas with matching sound effects. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We want something to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now, isn't that a lovely song? Okay, I never grow tired singing that Christmas song, and every year when we were kids, we would do caroling to every houses and get a little donation, a little gifts from the houses that we sang our hearts out, and one of the staple songs, staple songs in our repertoire will be that traditional Christmas song, and it's very nice. I wish I could have recorded ourselves when we were kids singing that song. I mean, it was very, very cute, very cute performance, if I may do say so myself. Now going back to Mr. Clever, so here is Mr. Clever. As you can see, not much is going on, but the gesture that we can see in Mr. Clever is something very significant and very noteworthy. So we see Mr. Clever here pointing his finger. It's as if trying to teach some of the denizens of Roger Hargreaves' world a thing or two of what he learned. Trying to share his intelligence or whatever knowledge that he has. Unlike the other people who wants to have an esoteric, it's an exclusively owned knowledge, and they don't want to share it with one another. Sometimes one way of trying to be generous this Christmas is to be able to share not only material things, we can also share our time, and more importantly, we can also share our knowledge, especially to those who are not as fortunate as we are to have good education. Last December 3, I joined the McDonald's Stripes Run. It's a fun run being held at BGC, or Bonifacio Global Center, and it's sponsored by no less than McDonald's. That's why it's called Stripes Run. It kind of alludes to the outfit of Ronald McDonald, the red and white stripes. So we were given this wonderful shirt, and then also a pair of socks with stripes. And it was really fun. At first it's a little bit awkward to see yourself running with those unusually designed socks, the red and white stripes. But then, well, it's Ronald McDonald's, part of Ronald McDonald's outfit, so it was fun. And then also there is the advocacy of Ronald McDonald's. I mean, the fun run, it's not just there for us to enjoy a very fun run, but then we are also aiding in the advocacy of Ronald McDonald's, because most of the proceeds of that fun run will be donated to some of the private schools all over the country for grades 1 and 2. And then Ronald McDonald's, or the House of Charities of McDonald's, will give away ample amount of books, especially to remote public schools, so that they can also get into reading. And just like Mr. Clever here, Ronald McDonald is also imparting not just food, not just their time, but also knowledge. There's one saying that I learned in school. You don't just teach people how to eat fish. You don't just give them fish for them to survive. You must also teach them how to fish. And I think that has a long-term effect. When you teach a person how to fish, they don't have to beg you all the time for them to have their fill of sustenance. But when they have the knowledge, they have the know-how, they can actually fend for themselves and be able to be independent and survive on their own. So I think that's a noble thing about sharing the knowledge to other people also, so that they may be able to develop their own skills, their own intellect, their own qualities, and then be able to be independent and have a source of livelihood for themselves. Okay, now as a tribute to this newest addition to my collection, we have this song for Mr. Clever. So this is our song for Mr. Clever. Ta-da!
Christmas time, there's no need to be afraid. At Christmas time, we let in light and vanish away. And in our world of plenty, we can spread a smile of joy. Throw your arms around the world. It's Christmas. It's hard, but when you're everyone, there's a world outside your window, and it's a world of treasure, where the only water flowing is the bitter sting of tears, and the Christmas bells that ring there are the clanging chimes of doom. Well, tonight thank God it's there instead of you, and there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. The greatest gift they'll get this year is life. Whoa, whoa, and nothing ever grows, no rain, no rivers flow. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Here's to you as a glass for everyone. Here's to them underneath the burning sun. Do they know got a friend in me.
Ronald McDonald and Friends in Rockin' French Fries.
Look, gang, a piano! I'm gonna play a little song, and before your eyes, up will come McDonald's Fry Guys. They'll rock and roll,
Sing and shout.
and wait till you see what all the music's about. I'd like you to meet our triple surprise, McDonald's Fry Girls with those golden French fries.
It's a good